So do you guys get excited as much as I do when there's a new fragrance announced? Well, today I don't have a fragrance review for you, but I do have a anticipation video for the new Tom Ford Soleil Neige that was just announced. Should be landing very soon, and I'm going to talk to you about this one because it sounds pretty interesting. So if you want to find out about Soleil Neige, please stay tuned. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time tuning into this channel and you love watching fragrance reviews, finding out about new fragrances, discovering new brands, and of course participating in giveaways and still haven't subscribed to the channel, please click that subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. Yeah, I'm a fan of Tom Ford's private blend collection fragrances. I'm not a fan of their high prices for the upper scale ones, but I do love the fragrances in this collection. There's some unique fragrances, very niche style offerings from a designer's more expensive private blend collection. So Soleil Neige was just recently announced, and so basically Soleil Neige means sun snow. So I'm kind of very curious about this fragrance because what are they trying to do with sun snow? But let me tell you about the notes. I don't have any information about the pricing and all that good stuff, and I don't really have a release date. I just noticed that it was just announced, and I wanted to get this video out there so that I can get you guys excited. I don't even know if it's going into the more expensive or higher priced private blend collection fragrances, or if it's going into the lower priced private blend collection. To me, from the look of the bottle, it seems like it's going to go into the lower priced collection, but sun snow sounds really exciting to me. We shall see what it is all about. But here's what I found for the notes. Bergamot, carrot seed in the top notes. In the heart notes, you've got Jasminum grandiflorum, basically jasmine, orange blossom, Karmaflor with a registered trademark symbol, Turkish rose. Base notes, you've got Labdanum, Musk, Benzoin, and vanilla. First of all, what is Karmaflor? So I did a little research on Karmaflor because I'm very curious. It is a proprietary trademarked ingredient by Givaudan. So this particular fragrance was created by Givaudan from a perfumer who's I don't know who the name of the perfumer is. I couldn't find that part from. So Tom Ford contracted out Givaudan to create this perfume, and Givaudan ended up using Karmaflor, which is a trademarked registered trademarked ingredient that they own themselves. So what is Karmaflor? Karmaflor is a flowery fragrance ingredient created by Givaudan, and according to Givaudan from 2011 it can be found in the flowers of the Indian Ashoka tree. So I don't know anything about Ashoka Tree. If you guys are from India or know about the Ashoka Tree, let me know if you've smelled it, because I'm very curious about it. And also in relation to the name of the fragrance, Sun Snow, what this fragrance is going to be, because are they trying to recreate the smell of snow? But I can't tell because these notes seem like very floral and the smell of snow. I mean, there's a fragrance out there called California Snow from the house called A Lab on Fire, which to me the notes are completely different than this. So this is kind of like I guess maybe the sun shining when it's snowing out or something. That's the inspiration. But you got the citruses at the top of the bergamot, and then you have carrot seed, and carrot seed kind of can smell very savory, almost buttery, irisy kind of smell. They kind of go hand in hand, and I've learned that some brands substitute carrot seed for iris, so they kind of have similarities. So it's kind of powdery, I'm assuming, at the top, along with the citrus, and then in the heart it's all florals. You've got the Jasminum grandiflorum, which is jasmine, orange blossom, and that Karmaflor, which is found in the flowers of the Indian Ashoka tree, and Turkish rose. So it's an ultra floral experience in the heart. But then of course it dries down to an amber, most likely, because Labdanum is all ambery, and then benzoin is this beautiful vanillic resin, and then you've got vanilla on top of that and musk. So something very unique is coming. It sounds great from reading the notes. I can only imagine what it's going to smell like, but I like this combo. It's different than what they've done before. I haven't seen carrot seed come up in fragrances from Tom Ford, but this one is very exciting to me, just not only from the name and not only from that note Karmaflor, but also the notes. I mean, they just sound great to me, especially in the dry down. A musky amber with lots of resins of, you know, benzoin and vanilla. Very, very exciting. I can only imagine what this is going to be like. Now, the only complaint I would have is it doesn't look like it's going to be an out there fragrance. Like, let's say, for example, Noir Anthracite, when that came out, I really, really liked it. To me, that fragrance reminded me of Halston Z14. And I wore Halston Z14 in the 80s through my dad and my uncle, and then also later in the 80s, I bought a bottle myself. So that fragrance reminded me of that fragrance. And to me, it was a great release, but it was a flop, a complete flop for Tom Ford. I think a lot of people hated it. I mean, I don't understand it. I think the new generation does not like those adventurous kind of fragrances, or I don't even consider it if it's an adventurous fragrance, because to me that's what people were wearing back in the 80s, so how could it be adventurous? It was just way out there for today's generation of noses. I was praising it, the fact that it was a great smell, even though I felt like it wasn't intense enough, like it wasn't deep and rich. It felt a little airy. A lot of people thought, wow, you're liking this thing, it doesn't smell great. It smells nothing like the previous versions of the Noir series for men. So this doesn't sound like it could be that groundbreaking, especially since I'm thinking of that Lab on Fire California Snow fragrance, which is kind of an out there, musky, earthy, ozonic kind of a fragrance. This seems more floral to me, like it's an ultra floral fragrance, starting with the citruses, of course, of the bergamot, and then, you know, going into like lots of different flowers here. So to me, it's something that I really like, especially since I'm digging a lot of flowers, and I'm really, really curious about that Karmaflor. Let's see how that smells. It sounds like a great release. What do you guys think? What do you think about this release? And also, what do you think? Do you like what the notes are sounding like, and are you just not that excited about this release? Now, to me, it seems like they're cranking out their releases quick and quick and quick, because last year it seems like we got like 4 different lavender themed fragrances from Tom Ford. Yeah, 4 different fragrances, and then I don't think they kept all of them. I think Beau de Jour was being canceled or discontinued. It was a temporary release, and then they had the Fougère Platine and Fougère d'Argent, and then of course Lavender Extreme. And Lavender Extreme, I don't even think that's doing very well for Tom Ford, especially since it's in that higher price categories. I mean, if you love lavender and you've been considering buying Lavender Extreme, you might want to watch my video where I compare it to Molinard's Lavande, which I find very, very close to Lavender Extreme. Like, if you're going to spend $800+ for a 250 ml decanter bottle, think twice. Even the small bottle is expensive. This one, I have a feeling, is going to go into the cheaper collection. But then again, I could be wrong, because fragrances launched around this time in the Tom Ford house end up going into that higher price category. Like Fucking Fabulous launched around the fall a couple years ago. That went into the higher price category. Lost Cherry went into the high price category. Now we have Soleil Neige, which is not a naughty name, or it doesn't kind of like allude to something naughty, which I guess they're going back to the regular way of launching fragrances. This one doesn't seem like it's going to go into the expensive fragrances, but then I could be wrong. Anyway, I'm excited for this one. I hope it's a good release. It is, after all, Estee Lauder, so they're all about making money. Let's see if this one is successful. It is floral. It might not do well with male customers compared to the female customers. Then again, there are a lot of men that are discovering flowers these days, and this one, especially since it dries down to a musky amber, a resinous musky amber, it might actually be a great release. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this new release. I'm excited for it. I can't wait to smell it. Unfortunately, when this comes out, I might be in Europe, so I'll have to find it there. But then again, I'll probably sample it along the way somewhere, and if it turns out to be a great release, I'll tell you guys all about it. But let me know your thoughts if you are interested in this one. And let me know what was the last greatest fragrance that you bought from Tom Ford Private Blend Collection. Go ahead and let me know if you have a favorite Tom Ford from the regular lineup as well, because I'd like to find out if you've sampled the fragrances from this house. And also, if you think it's overpriced. You think the Tom Ford Private Blend Collection fragrances are overpriced when you compare the regular lineup to the more expensive lineup? Which I think the more expensive lineup is ultra expensive and really overpriced. But then again, collection. Some of you are on a budget, you might think the whole entire collection is overpriced. Personally, I think they did great when they launched Ombre Leather, when they put it in the regular lineup. Even though that's pretty expensive, close to $200 for 100 ml, much better than paying 300 something for a 50 ml in the private blend collection. So they did good there. I praise them for that one. I'm glad they did, because I think that was a awesome success for them. I think that was a very, very successful fragrance for them. There was a lot of people behind it, into it, and buying it, and all that good stuff. And I think it was pretty successful for them. So maybe this will go in that route too. We shall see. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching this video on the new Tom Ford Soleil Neige anticipation of launch. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Otherwise, please like this video, please share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.